So we begin with the next stage of painting. I am using ultramarine blue from this. I'm not sure if it's ultramarine, it could be a different blue also, because certain international colors are like quite complicated names, I don't remember. But this is a darker blue. But in case you whatever blue is available, you can use that. Generally you will have cobalt blue or Prussian blue with you, so you can use cobalt blue, and if you want Prussian blue. So how we begin is, always take your color like this first. Never pick the color from directly from the palette and start painting. So what I do is I pick little color and I put it on this only, but if you want you can put it on a plate and then start. And you see I have loads of water in my brush because this is watercolors. So remember, there has to be lot of water. I have to start making the clouds first. In watercolors we do not use white. We use the paper of the white, so we save the paper white whenever we have to show anything white. So what I'm doing is I'm painting the clouds. So what I'm doing is generally I'm painting around them, not into the clouds, and creating the shapes. And see how my brush goes zigzag. So this cloud is created. Then what I do is maybe join little bit here, take it up again, bring it down, and just fill this part. So the clouds are being created. Every time I'll take the color like this, going to the other side, you just come down, up, and your clouds are generally done. Now at certain places, only with water in my brush, nothing else, no color, I'll merge this at few places so that these edges become little soft. Not all. See, at certain places I'll keep them the way they are, but at few places I'll merge so that it gives a soft look to the painting. And little bit you can get inside, but mind you, there should not be any color in your brush, because we have to keep the color, this white, absolutely clean. So this is the only thing I'm going to do in the clouds. Just take little more blue, and when the paper is wet, only then add little extra blue so that it just merges and there are no hard edges. Wash your brush completely. Remember, always your brush should not have any other color except what you need to. So what I'll do is, for the time being, since the sky is very wet at certain places, I'll not begin with the mountains here. I can wait and for it to dry. I can start painting here. Here I will take crimson red and mix little blue in it to create purple color. So it's a very unique landscape with colors that we don't usually put, and fill this particular part like this. And also remember, don't use your brush like this. Generally we go in one direction only. After putting this much color, I'll just simply spread it with water. Again, make more color, add little bit here. Now this time a little extra blue. You see, so we have different colors, different shades in the same area. Like this. So the technique that I'm going to follow here is, I will keep leaving the area which is around, so that we don't spoil the painting, and add another layer of little dark color. And see the wetness of the area. I use a lot of water, because if the water is less, you will not get this effect. So make sure that don't be scared in putting water. Now I have to take green color. So you will be having sap green with you. Take your sap green. If you know, if it is like this, so sap green is here. You can take sap green and this darker green, mix the two. You can mix these two blue, and then again, as I told you, put it in a plate somewhere, only then use. Don't directly put it on paper. So again, I'll leave this area and move on to this one. Keep adding water to your brush. Don't let it be dry at any moment, because you will not get the effect. So I'll just pick more color that I had made and then add. So every time, I don't want to struggle with my brush. It should have enough water so that it's easy for me to spread. This is the trick. Always remember. Then again, just spread it like this now, so that you get this shadow. The shade, the dark and the light. What I do is, see, I put this dark color. I'll show you again. And then clean my brush and spread it. You see the dark and the light. This looks really nice. Here it seems to be little extra light, so I'll just add little dark here. We have to have this dark and light in the painting. The tones should not be uniform. So dark and light together look very nice. Here also you see in the mountains, there is lighter color, darker color. Again light. So because we don't use white, so wherever we have to show a lighter shade, we add more water only. Now we can move to the mountains again, the upper one. This time you can use the other blue. The blue that you use, you can use a different blue. If you used cobalt, you can use Prussian blue here, or the other way around. Again, you see, it's this particular painting is just to relax everybody, so that you don't feel overwhelmed that I don't know how difficult it is to make watercolors. It's basically, you will learn how to use brush with loads of water in it. You see, the painting will really turn out well in the end. Here I'm going to use orange. This has dried a little bit. Weather is such, if it does not dry, you can use a hair dryer to do so. Here I'm using orange. That is there in your color boxes. If it is not there, to simply mix crimson red and lemon yellow, you will get the color. The shades may be different because my colors are different. Again, what I'll do is, I'm adding little darker scarlet red into it and orange. So again we get two shades. Don't worry about these accidents, like the color has got into the other one. It's okay. At certain places this looks nice. Now what I'll do is, I will create a road, white colored road. So what I'm doing is, I paint it like this and little bit this side. You see? So the white left is the road. I'm not going to put anything into it. You see the shape? Is it clear? I never struggle with moving my brush because I always take enough water. Throughout the painting, I'll keep telling you this, so don't get bored, because we forget to take water in our brushes. Now I take a little lighter green by mixing yellow in the green. And this area above it, between the two, I'll fill this green. Be careful. Try that it does not go in the yellow color, but if it goes, it's okay. That's fine. You see, I like these effects. They look very nice in watercolors, so I love them. Now the only part left is this. I'll use a different shade of green. So to make a different shade of green, what I'll suggest is you can mix little blue in it. Whatever green is there, just mix little blue. You'll get a different shade of green. See. So just mix any of the blues and the green, either sap green or the vanadium green. So you basically have to make a different shade than the one which is here, so that they can be differentiated easily. Please be free if your colors don't match to mine. It is absolutely fine. Don't worry about that, because if the companies are different, their shades are also different. So it's absolutely fine. If you want a brighter shade, you use vanadium green and you can mix Prussian blue into it, so you'll get a brighter shade. As I come here, I'll add a little purple that we had made earlier, little bit, just to make it look dramatic. You see how beautiful it is looking. There's not much into it, but just the combination of colors makes it look really pretty. So this is just to have fun what we are making. Now these two mountains are left, so we begin by adding little lemon yellow mixed with sap green. So this color is formed, lemon yellow mixed with sap green. As we go down, immediately before this color dries, I'll take the purple that we made earlier, that was made by mixing Prussian blue and little crimson red. So we don't add much of it. Now any green that you made earlier, or you can just pick up the sap green in your palette and add. So the technique is about basically using different colors. You see, it is the different colors that make the painting look beautiful, or different tones. With tones I mean somewhere we are using darker colors, at certain places we are using lighter colors. So the tones also make the painting look very nice. So what I'm doing is randomly picking some different shades of green like this. You see, I started with a different green, then I just picked up from the palette the vanadium green and then added to it. It gives a nice vibrant look to it. As I come down, I'll just add little yellow to it. You see how nice it starts looking. And also you see, I don't wait for the color to dry. Before it dries, I mix another color, but I don't go into the color. They just mix at the edges. And I am going to leave this. This is looking really pretty. Now the last ones are left. We'll make them again blue. In this blue, what I'll do is add little red, so that it is more on the violet side, not on the purple side. So this is a darker blue. So for this you have to take more blue and less red. Again Prussian blue. It could be different because mine is an ultramarine. And just with little blue I created this, and now only using water I am going to spread it on to this, spread on these two mountains, the one at the back. Like this. So you see, we have got that depth in the painting. See how important this road plays a role in the painting. Just by leaving white, it gives a nice distance perspective to the painting. And don't forget to paint this little patch behind. For this I'll just pick up little green and add here. And see, I have to add few trees behind. For this I'll have to wait for it to dry. What I'll suggest is I'll complete the painting. You should wait for this part to dry and only then make it. For this part, what I'll do is, in any color, take it blue or green, mix black, little bit of black, so that we get a darker, very dark shade of either green or blue. And I'll create small trees here. You see, just do little dab of unequal size. I'm going to avoid the areas that are still wet. You see, they have to be really small and of different sizes. Blue and black. So just few trees. And they have to be really small because they are at a great distance. Just like that. See, not much. Then leave some portion and create few like this. See, this portion is looking like some beautiful tree. These accidents make watercolor paintings extremely interesting. It's almost like we are in a school and doing some nice art. So don't be scared, just go ahead and do it. This is going to look very beautiful after getting complete. There is nothing much left in it. At few places I'll take a darker shade, like this place, because it's become little flat after drying. I'll take a darker shade of green and add a line. Again, I always take more water in my brush. I don't want hard lines in the painting. So just a dash of green here as well. In this green, I'll mix little blue to give it a different shade and to differentiate between these two fields. Just this much and just merge it with water. See how beautiful the painting is looking, so vibrant, and there is nothing at all difficult about it. What I'll suggest everybody is watch the video many times. Don't try to start painting it immediately. Take your time, you have the entire day to complete this painting. Watch it 3-4 times, you'll get the hang of it. You'll realize that there are many things you didn't notice in the first attempt when you watch the video. So watch it many times. Take your time, enjoy the process, and then make it. And before you begin painting, please you can just show the sketches to me, the sketch you made to me, and then begin with the painting. Thank you everyone.